Hi, everybody. My name is Steve Pierce. I'm Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, co-founder of ChlorKing Incorporated, based in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Today, I'll be doing a presentation on our HYPOGEN on-site hypochlorous acid generator. To give you a background about ChlorKing and a little bit about our history before I get into the HYPOGEN system, we are a designer and manufacturer of on-site chlorine generators for the commercial swimming pool market in North America for over 20 years. We have over 15,000 installations throughout this territory, and all products are designed and manufactured in our facility in Atlanta, Georgia. We have been making these chlorine generators, as stated, for many, many years and have a lot of experience with producing generators that have to face the rigors of commercial swimming pool environment, which means they have to have the ability to run 24 hours a day in some pretty harsh environments. And this has really given us the background in producing products that have the ability to maintain, last, and be effective at generating a solution. With the advent of COVID-19, we decided to turn some of this technology and spin it around slightly in order to produce more hypochlorous acid than hypochlorite, which is typically what's done in the pool generators. And we've done that through a multitude of different technology changes, while still using the same components that we use on our next-gen pool systems, which have been so successful. So a lot of experience. We know what we're doing in this field, and producing this hypochlorous acid generator was a no-brainer. Part of what our intentions are with this is really to help distribute products that really aid in the slowdown or the complete eradication of COVID, and really helping out wherever we can with this generator. It produces an incredible solution, which is very effective, and I shall get in now and just discuss that. So the HYPOGEN system is a standalone on-site generator which has been optimized to produce hypochlorous acid, also known as neutral electrolyzed water. This solution has a neutral pH, and it uses our ChlorKing technology that converts salt, water, weak acid, and electricity into an effective, safe, and very powerful solution. And this can really substitute for a number of chemicals that are used on a daily basis at any facility for sanitizing and disinfecting. The HYPOGEN system is very simple, and what we've taken is we've taken our Keep It Simple technology for the commercial swimming pool industry, and we've turned it into this generator, which is a skid-mounted, roll into your facility as seen on the screen, plumb in, and produce the solution, which then gets held in that tank. And the technology, like I said, is seamless, using our next-gen components, which we have many thousands of systems operating. So it's been an easy transition for us to get this machine turned around and get it out. How it works really is simple. You have water that comes into the machine, and this is regular water coming in from a water facility. You don't need water softeners. We don't need any special type of water. We have acid coming in through our acid pump and salt coming in through our salt pump, which we then produce through electrolysis, a hypochlorous acid solution, which fills up the storage tank sitting on the skid. It's a 20-gallon storage tank, which is filled up. So regular water coming in, no water softeners, no special requirements on the water, acid coming into our pump, salt coming into our salt pump, producing the electrolysis effect, which gives us our hypochlorous acid. In that process, we're controlling our pH, and by controlling our pH, we can dial in the amount of hypochlorous acid we want. And the cool thing about the HYPOGEN system is that the end operator, the end user, can change the pH that they require based on the type of environment they're going to be using the solution in, and they can adjust the pH up or down. Anything from 5.5 to 7 in that range will give you either more or less hypochlorous acid depending on the application that is being sought after. The ORP is over 1,000. And so an ORP over 1,000 shows you a very, very effective sanitizer. For those of you that know anything about water treatment, ORPs are typically maintained in the high 600s, low 700s, which gives you at least a 3-log reduction of any bacteria or organisms found in swimming pools. And so with an ORP over 1,000, we make an incredibly powerful solution of hypochlorous acid. The solution that the system produces, the neutral electrolyzed water, is an all-natural, organic, non-toxic, non-irritant. It's environmentally and ecologically safe as a sanitizer and a disinfectant solution. And it's simply produced from an electrochemical reaction of water, salt, weak acid, and electricity. And the applications of this technology are infinite, including multitude of facilities. You can see on the chart where we compare the hypochlorous acid solution that the system produces to ozone, chlorine dioxide, hydrogen peroxide, and sodium hypochlorite, and where they're all effective at killing bacteria and viruses. The neutral electrolyzed water, hypochlorous acid, is far more effective in a number of ways. And the key ones are really the environmentally friendliness of the solution, the fact that it is non-corrosive, non-toxic, harmless to humans. It's easily disposed of. You don't need to wear any PPE equipment. There's no special requirements for storage. It doesn't fall within any scope of OSHA. There's no double containment rules. The solution is simply 99% water with 1% hypochlorous acid in it. Very effective, but more importantly, completely harmless to human beings, as opposed to ozone, chlorine dioxide, hydrogen peroxide, and sodium hypochlorite, which are all corrosive and all toxic and all harmful to human beings. So that's what makes this solution so invaluable. The solution is a sanitizer. It has, not only does it provide a green solution, but it is and has been tested by a number of different companies to be effective, and subsequently to our last talk, that COVID-19 has shown, the EPA has shown it to be successful against COVID-19 with a 10-minute contact time at 500 plus minus ppm. This solution is growing in popularity, number one, because of its ease of use, number two, because of its environment friendliness, and number three, because of the cost to produce the solution on site. Very, very low. It costs on average about 3 to 5 cents to make a gallon of hypochlorous acid at a facility. And that includes all the raw materials that it takes to make that solution. As opposed to a facility making hypochlorous acid, bottling it, and then shipping it, which can cost north of $10, $12, $13, $14 for a gallon. These machines can make the solution at your facility for 3 to 5 cents per gallon. So that cost alone is really making these systems gain popularity throughout the country. Hypochlorous acid is the key ingredient and the best part of bleach. And so for those of you that know anything about bleach, whether it's 6% household bleach or 12% pool bleach, bleach itself contains hypochlorite. And hypochlorite is not really effective until you reduce the pH of the solution. And so you need high concentrations of hypochlorite to do the same job that you can with very low concentrations of hypochlorous acid. And those of you that know anything about a swimming pool, you will know that you inject chlorine into a swimming pool, and the way you make it active and effective is you lower the pH. Swimming pools only lower the pH to about 7.5. These hypochlorous acid generators lower the pH to the high 5/6, 5.8, 5.96, 6.1, which gives us 95 to 99% hypochlorous acid, making the solution incredibly effective and far more effective than bleach. In fact, many studies have shown hypochlorous acid to be at least 100 times more effective than bleach hypochlorite. And part of that is simply because of the charge of the molecule. Hypochlorite ion is a negatively charged molecule, and when it tries to inactivate a bacteria, the repelling effect of that negative charge makes it difficult for it to get in. Hypochlorous acid, having a neutral, doesn't have that same repelling effect and has the ability to penetrate and inactivate those pathogens. And for those of you that don't know, hypochlorous acid is actually what the human body makes in order to heal itself. So when you have a wound or an infection, white blood cells flood to the point of that infection. And at that point, they release hypochlorous acid that has been made within the body. And that hypochlorous acid then fights the infection and helps you heal. We're doing exactly the same thing. We're making this hypochlorous acid on the outside, but with the same technology that the human body uses, salt and electricity. Neutral electrolyzed water, which is the other name for it, is the primary component of hypochlorous acid. It is called neutral electrolyzed water because of its pH neutrality. It's also known as superoxidized water, and it's produced in this electrolysis format using salt and a weak acid in electrolysis. The system can produce large volumes of this gentle but extremely potent antimicrobial solution, which is capable of reduction of bacteria, viruses, spores, etc. It's also been shown to be very, very effective at removing biofilm, which again, sodium hypochlorite really struggles with removing biofilm. Hypochlorous acid is no problem. The benefit of hypochlorous acid, being a non-corrosive substance, is that you can fog it very easily. You can see in this picture, here is a picture of somebody using a fogging mechanism. We ourselves in our offices fog our facility twice a day using hypochlorous acid in a standard fogger. We have gentlemen that walk around fogging the facility while people are working in the facility. We're fogging at about 500 ppm free available chlorine with a pH of about 6, which is giving us about 95% hypochlorous acid. Because it's a non-corrosive substance, doesn't destroy the fogger, which obviously is important. We fog every part of our building, everything from bathrooms to kitchens to you name it. We also use the solution to wipe down all of our floors, all of our bathrooms, all of our kitchen countertops. Every employee has a spritzer bottle, which they use to spray door handles. So we use this solution exclusively throughout the facility. We do not buy outside chemicals at all for the disinfecting and sanitation of our facility. Again, making the solution for 3 to 5 cents a gallon makes it an absolute no-brainer. Neutral electrolyzed water is very efficient because it's generated on demand and it can be applied at the point of location. It limits and sometimes removes completely the logistical concerns of purchasing, transporting, storing, preparing, and using traditional chemical applications. The elimination of storing hazardous chemicals, translates into reductions of regulatory paperwork, safety and training requirements, safety inspections, and liability exposure. And that's one of the key things about hypochlorous acid, is that you can literally walk around spraying this solution, using this solution in your bathing suit. It is not a harmful chemical at all, but it is extremely effective against pathogens, bacteria, viruses, etc. It eliminates the need to monitor for chlorine dioxide residuals if you're using chlorine dioxide. It is far safer and easier to use than ozone, and it just provides a more effective cleaning than other toxic chemicals. The CDC guidelines on how to clean and disinfect solutions, CDC actually recently released that you can use 1,000 ppm of diluted household bleach to be effective at cleaning. We're making 1,000 ppm of free available chlorine of hypochlorous acid, making this solution far more effective and far more destructive than standard sodium hypochlorite. But so this is already a CDC approved technology. It is also an EPA approved technology. Many companies have had their solutions approved by the EPA. And we as a company are an EPA device registered facility and are able to sell and ship these devices under our EPA registration. The applications for this solution, again, a myriad of applications, everything from medical, healthcare, hospitality, all the way down to laundries. And it gets rid of obviously influenza, norovirus, bacillus, COVID it's been tested against, and a bunch of other bacteria and known pathogens. This solution, typically as we see it with the change in the world and what is happening with the advent of this COVID outbreak, is that facilities are going to have to go down into a deep clean, consistent schedule. And we don't see that this is going to change for some time. And so if you ask yourself, how are we going to attract people to come back to our facility? How are we going to make them feel safe? And how are we going to ensure that our facility is safe for both of our employees and our customers? Disinfection and sanitation of facilities is going to become a very big job and a very costly exercise. And if you're consistently having to buy sanitizers and buy solutions in order to do this, it is going to become very cost prohibitive. And so our aim and our objective with this machine is for you as the customer to have your own generating plant at your facility. The raw materials are cheap and easily readily available. And so being able to make this solution non-stop is a big deal and going to be a big deal for facilities. And I was talking to a customer earlier this morning about how are they going to open up? And the key really was, how do they make their people feel that everything is clean all the time? And with traditional chemicals, that's going to be very difficult. If somebody is working out at a machine and leaves the machine and the next person comes out, well, how do they now know that that machine is clean and safe and nothing has been left on there? And so if you're able to constantly clean and wipe down everything in your facility with a solution that is environmentally friendly, non-toxic, easy to use, well, all of a sudden you have the ability to all day, every day, consistently disinfect and sanitize, versus only being able to do it at specific times during the day, which at the end of the day is not really going to be all that effective. So being able to make the solution on site as much as you need, whenever you need it, is going to be a big deal. As we've all seen with supply chains, with this outbreak of COVID-19, supply chains get stressed very quickly, and no manufacturer is typically set up to go from 0 to 1,000 overnight. And so things run out, and specifically sanitizing and disinfecting chemicals, it becomes a big deal. So that if you have the device and the machine available to do this yourself, it is a much better idea, and you don't have to rely on supply chains, and those don't get in your way. We have two models that are specifically going to be aimed for sanitizing and disinfecting of buildings, schools, water parks, gymnasiums, resorts, hotels. That really is our HYPOGEN 2 and our HYPOGEN 5. Both of them sit on exactly the same skid, same footprint. Both of them only require 120 volt power plugged into a wall. Both of them only required standard 3/4 inch hose, water supplied to them. The difference between the two machines is the HYPOGEN 2 has the ability to make the solution at 0.1 gallons per minute, which means it can make 6 gallons per hour of the solution. The HYPOGEN 5 can produce at 0.25 gallons per minute, meaning it can make 15 gallons per hour of solution. So that 20-gallon tank that you saw sitting on the skid in the previous photo, that solution will fill at 6 gallons an hour on the small machine and 15 gallons an hour on the bigger machine. Those are the only two differences in this technology. Hypochlorous acid, in closing, is a powerful oxidant. It's up to, and has been proven to be up to, over 100 times more efficient at killing microbial pathogens than sodium hypochlorite. And anybody that uses sodium hypochlorite in any type of water understands and knows how important pH is and how important it is to control that pH. We, as a manufacturer, have the ability to control that pH very, very precisely, have been doing it for many years with our products, and have simply changed that technology slightly now in order to make the hypochlorous acid for on-site demand. So in closing, take a look at your facility. Take a look at how you are going to disinfect your facility moving forward. Take a look at what the new normal looks like and how cleaning your facility is going to be done on a daily, hourly, weekly basis, and look at whether an on-site production unit makes sense for you. There's many customers now that have looked at options, looked at all the myriad of chemicals and disinfectants that are available on the market, and have realized that, making this solution on site is the best way to go. And so take a look at the facility. At any time, anybody needs to contact us or any of our dealer network, reach out through clawking.com, and we will put you in contact with the right person, and we will give you more information. So I thank you. Again, anything else, www.clawking.com. Feel free to reach out for more information or reach out to your local distributor. Thank you.